Welcome. Thank you for being here. There's probably been about 50 people in and through these calls over the last 4 days. It's been beautiful. The reception has been glorious. People really being able to feel excited about not only what's going on next year, but about creating something big. The possibility that human design always has brought to us is the opportunity for us to just exist and be resourced because we exist, be valuable because we be. That the compost or creations or thoughts and ideas, whatever it is that is the byproduct of our existence, we know is inherently valuable. The reason we know that is because that's the way the universe works, right? Everything's compost is valuable for something else, or it wouldn't be here. Everything that works within an ecosystem digests something else's compost. This structure that is being created gives us the ability to offer our wisdom, the wisdom that we gain along the way of learning how to evolve as the thing that you are right now, and to put that in a place where somebody else can find it and say, oh my gosh, that is exactly what I'm going through. Those of you who have been to my Spiral of Everything class have heard me talk about this. This is now taking that concept and bringing it into tangible form so that we all can dance within it. But first, let's breathe. I'm going to put my feet on the floor and take a breath. I'm going to feel the air come in through my nose, down through my throat, through my torso, and down into my perineum. I'm going to let my attention goes where it goes, and my feelings feels what they feel. And I'm just going to arrive in my body with you here now in this space and time. This will hopefully last 60 to 90 minutes. First, Richard is going to share some of the feedback from the roundtables and collection of information we've been collecting from these forums. He's going to share what he's been diligently working on for next year's conference. And then after that, I'm going to go into explaining the new structure of next year's conference and the opportunities for participants, volunteers, and facilitators. We would love to hear what is alive in you and what's important to you. And then we will breathe again and see each other again real soon. That's the structure of what's going to happen today.
We have some exciting news to share. Brandy has been working on some manifestor birthing that has been such a inspiring honor to watch her. What she's going to be sharing with you all tonight, she's actually been working on for many years. And through synchronicity and timing, this is a beautiful space to share it in. Anyway, we'll get to that in a moment. I just wanted to say hi and thank you all for being here. Again, you all were there. The amazing feedback we got, particularly on that last night, was extraordinary. And as we passed that phone around, we had AI helping us collect everything. And the overriding feedback really went into a couple of buckets. One was everyone loves the content, the variety, the breadth and depth, that all the talent that's brought there, but it's fun and it's chaotic, but there's a lack of structure. And I think the most important thing you'll get to hear tonight is Brandy going through this spiral of everything and how we really believe this can allow for the dynamic, creative, spontaneous surprises to happen within a structure that allows not only the participant that comes in to meet the conference wherever they are. You know, we have examples where this year we had a guy that came, Daniel. He'd only been in human design for 3 weeks, and he found himself in a rave cosmology class. Okay, so he was pretty lost from the first word. Yeah. So we'd like to bring this structure so it allows participants to find their way through, following their authority, allowing for spontaneity, but to follow their energy into what feels right for them. And for facilitators, those of us that want to teach, present, workshop, whatever, we also have a place that we can put our offering so that we can align with the fractal and the energy all in the same time. So she'll go into more detail on that. But the other thing that was going to help solve a lot of the concerns everyone had, every year we're also spread out over town. And that creates chaos too. People don't know where they're going, or they can't get a ride, or it's just a lack of familiarity. And one of the most positive feedbacks we got from everybody was that the magic that happens in between all the talks and workshops where you meet somebody and all of a sudden you're sharing something really special and intimate out of nowhere. And by being spread out of town, we lose all that magic. So one of our big goals was to have a venue that could support the whole conference in one place. And so we have a few names I'll give you, not that you know these places, but just to give you a feel that we're already having meetings. We were just at one of the hotels a couple hours ago to scope it out. It's kind of our favorite choice right now. It's called Hotel Glorietta. There's a new investor that has bought it and they're putting lots of money into it. It's very great location. It's got a beautiful conference room. They've got many workshop rooms that we could have breakouts. They've got the outdoor event area, a swimming pool, a restaurant, a bar. They said they'd give us the rooms at huge discounted rates that we don't have to pre-purchase, that you can just let people buy them as they come. So they seem very eager to work with us. It's the whole enchilada in one place. And so we're pretty excited.
Yeah.
We haven't got the price on it yet, but we're pretty sure it's going to be less than the conference center, which is our first choice. We just did an astrology conference at the Santa Fe Convention Center. It's
Beautiful.
fantastic. And we will end up there. If it's not this year, maybe it will be, depending on if there's some seed money, how we can gen that up. We will eventually be at the convention center, I believe. It's right downtown. It's got everything you could possibly want. So we're also having meetings with them and we'll get the price, but we've heard from other people that used it. It's pretty steep, but it's on our list. And then we still have the Center for Peace and Justice, where we did the conference twice, 2 years ago. That's a great larger space. It's also been upgraded, but they don't have the breakout rooms. So like I said, it's a backup. We know we can get that one at least, worst case scenario. And we're all still talking to Synergia. And some of you guys might have gone out there. We love that place. It's so fun. They've got a lot of multi-purpose rooms. It's a great vibe out there, but they can only sleep 25 people on the compound. So we'd be talking about 100 or more people commuting over a half hour from Santa Fe every day. So that's certainly not ideal. So we're thinking maybe we could do a day out there. Maybe we do one of these other locations for 3 days or something and either have the first day or the last day. We could tie in Star Dreaming.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys got out there. That place is off the hook, but they're nearby each other. So that place is still in the mix and we'll keep you guys posted as we go. But we're super hopeful that we could find the perfect place for all these interactions. Again, the feedback was about, we want to be around everybody and we want to be able to be in large groups, small groups, but at least in the same vicinity to promote all the incredible conversations that take place on the in-between times.
And in this, when we walked around this Hotel Glorietta for a little while, we could see how we could have 6 breakout rooms, and there's a workout room that could be like the left's room to relax. And then there was a little chill spot and we could make that the right space to relax. So there could be relax rooms. There could be a big party ballroom and all these breakout rooms. And this is where your hotel is, pool, and there's outside areas and trails right behind there and a DJ that comes on the weekends. So there's like built-in little party thing. Anyway, it feels like that could be really fun. I really hope the pricing works. And again, like Richard said, if it doesn't, it will eventually. I would have, if I'm honest, I would have 12 rooms. I would have 6 yin and 6 yang rooms, and I would have something going on in all of them. And I would have a left space and a right space and a dance space and a eat space and a
Well, if we shoot for the stars, we can at least land on the moon.
there's a lot of parts. And so this very first part that I think is one of the most important parts is to be able to structure this in a way where we can have new people come in. We could have seasoned people tap in, and we can have everybody in between trying on their voice in this space as well, as little or as big as they feel is right for them. So this is the spiral of everything. Again, those who've been to my class might be able to recognize some of the visuals here. Oops. As we know, we are moving into a new spiral. And this spiral, as I said, parented me. This spiral isn't anything I've created. This spiral of everything is just something that I've noticed. It is a pattern that I've recognized and I've used as a tool for my own evolution, for my own parenting, for my own relating, for my own leadership, using my voice, for my own allowing my own spirit to exist. This spiral of everything that I'm going to talk about, I have just used in my own life to know where I'm at, to know that I can't ever fuck this up, that I've never done anything wrong, and that I'm always exactly where I need to be. And this map helps me see what I need to work through in order to move into the next spaces and places. I can see how this structure supports me at every turn, in every dimension of life, in every single way. This structure is the thing that parented me, really. And it's the thing that still parents me. I still, whenever I feel like I'm lost, I say, okay, where am I at in this map? And what am I working through? Just knowing that, okay, I've never done this thing before. I'm trying to do it. I'm supposed to be insecure. Great. Let me fall into this insecurity and know that I'm okay. And that I haven't done anything wrong. And that
I love that.
this is the way I'm supposed to be in order to feel it and move into the second line phase where I can embody what it feels like. This has been my parent. So it does seem like I've made it some structure thing that we're all going to come into, but I just want to share the tenderness of the place that this actually comes. High Desert Human Design is moving into a new spiral. Each year in the current High Desert Human Design structure, we have created a framework that frames the conference in the line in which the year is. So we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's in the first spiral, and now we are going to move into the second spiral. And in that second spiral, we are going to bring into coherence what the first 5 steps have yielded. We're going to gather all of the creations that have happened over the first 5 years, and we are going to move it into coherence. We are going to land it into form, and we are going to follow the structure of nature, of physics, of consciousness. We are creating in the structure that the universe creates everything. And my effort is to create a self-perpetuating field where no one person is the holder of this medicine, where all of us have a thread in this creation. Not only do we have a thread, but we allow new threads to be sewn in so that this structure we are creating together will be self-perpetuating for generations to come. We understand we are here to push the edges of what our purpose is here for, but there's people that are going to come after us that have different edges to push. And this structure is going to hold them. It's going to hold all of consciousness's push toward evolution. So thanks for sitting here with me during it and being part of it. For the participants, the structure is going to help you track your journey. Whether you come to HDHD for a foundation, we had people this year, a gentleman who is new to human design and was at a cosmology class and was just cross-eyed. He didn't understand what was going on. He was there for foundation. I know some people held some beautiful spaces. I think it was Fred, some beautiful therapy, some play therapy space where some people were here for embodiment. Some people wanted to experiment. And I heard they were so excited about being able to just be in the space of language with other people that spoke human design language. Some people wanted to stretch their leadership legs, to be the first time to facilitate something, to really bring a new heretical idea out for the community to hear. And then there's some people like me, I like belonging. I like just being around it all. I just like feeling people growing and pushing their own edges. And so it doesn't matter what you're here for, you will be able to track your journey and see each line of the way where you're at. For facilitators, this is going to help you position your offer line by line and spiral by spiral, so it's received and integrated and resourced. I am going to show you as a facilitator all of the psychological, physical, relational, individual, collective, spiritual challenges we have at each level of the spiral, and you're going to be able to fit your offering into the spiral in that way. I can help support you and develop and design your offerings. When I say your offerings, what I know to be true is it's your authentic expression asking to be shared. But not all of us understand how exactly to get it out to the world. We know how to be ourselves, but how do we structure it in a way other people would understand? How do we say the language that other people can hear? I'll be able to help you with that and help you put it in the space of the spiral where your session will land with the right people and at the right depth. Here's what I've experienced in 5 years of coming to the conference is we have beautiful new ideas and we bring them to the table with all of our gusto where we are at. But what you've got to do is take those offerings and put them in a way that brings people through the spiral that you've already gone through to get to your epiphany with you. And that's what I'm going to help you do so that you can have it in the spiral so that people can come in a first line awareness to you, a second line embodiment, a third line experimentation, a fourth line communing, a fifth line challenging, and a sixth line embodiment of your offering, of your service. And people are going to be able to come and have that experience at the conference of you in each of those lines. We've had some sponsors and beautiful volunteers that have been with us through the years. And one of the things is we just got to cross our fingers that you were impactful is kind of what I heard from some of the volunteers and from the sponsors, the financial sponsors. So I want to be able to show us transparently the impact of your support. And I want it to be mapped and visible and resonant. I haven't yet decided, but I do have a nonprofit that I may convert for this high desert human design, which means that any of your donations, whether it be in kind or actual monetary, would be able to be tax deductible. So I'll get back to you on if we're actually doing that or not. Okay, so now I know I'm taking for granted. A lot of us know this stuff, and I'm so sorry if it feels very elementary, but I just want to go through it quickly so that I can show you the breadth of this creation. So we understand the lines of the hexagram. We understand the roles that each of us play in all of our gates and lines that we have and don't have. We understand the world through these 6 characteristics because we are human design practitioners. So we understand that there are investigators, there are natural embodiers, there are experimenters, there are networkers, there are leaders, and there are role models. And all of us have all of that within us, and we're all playing one of those roles at one time. So this isn't about your design or your profile. This is a universal structure that everything grows within. And there are going to be 6 dimensions or spirals. So there's 6 lines of the hexagram or 6 chakras. And then there's 6 dimensions or spirals if we're thinking about energy bodies or dimensions of our lives. The individual spiral, the relationship spiral, the family, the community, humanity and the collective, and the spirit or the cosmic spiral. These are the dimensions of our realities that human design or any modality can structure their offerings within. So within the individual spiral, I wanted to just give some fundamental examples so that I can show you what I'm talking about. The first line theme, someone is going to be able to come into our human design conference and say, okay, I think I want to work on myself as an individual in human design. And I want to start at line 1. So myself as an individual, starting at line 1 of human design is human design 101. We're going to have that offering, type, strategy, and authority. And again, these are examples. These are my examples. If I were creating this, what would I put in here? In the relationship area, if I were a participant of HDHD 26, I'd say, I want to work on myself in the individual spiral, and I want to go into the relationship. So line 1, relationship, I'm going to go into aura experiments and see what my aura does with other people's bodies, what my body does with others. In the family, I'm going to go to the conference and I'm going to go on this field trip and I'm going to go on a observation walk. I'm going to move with my body's wisdom. And I'm going to actually be out there in the grocery store and I'm going to see what happens when I go to the cantaloupes with somebody else and what my aura does with their aura. The community, we'll have a panel maybe. And again, these are just my ideas. You guys bring your ideas. You tell me where you fit, and that's where you go. And I can help you develop your offerings in these ways as well. But a panel maybe of authority types. Maybe we have a panel of all of the authority types, and they're sitting there talking about what it's like to be that, and you get to go watch it. Interviews, maybe the history and future of human design could be a line 1 so that people could really understand where it's come from and where it's going. And then maybe we offer one-on-one time if somebody wants it. Of course, that person will be resourced. So I just wanted to give some basic examples of what this could look like, what your offerings could look like as a facilitator, and as a participant, what it could look like for you coming to this conference and what you could participate in. If we are thinking the human design spiral, we want to embody it. We want to learn to feel natural with human design in this line 2 way. So if I want to embody my individual human design, I'm going to go to a workshop about the felt authority, and I'm going to create a magnificence profile for myself so that I can write down and see all of the great things that happen in my design. If I wanted to embody my relationships, I would maybe go to a lecture about from different energy types in relating. Maybe we could do a workshop of family constellations or play theater in this way. So again, I don't need to go through all of them. I will provide these so that you can have these as examples. But I just wanted to show you some examples of what I've created at each line. And again, we will go through these more deeply in our facilitator call so that we can put them together and then offer it to the world. But these are the things that we are doing. We are providing space to investigate and learn it. We are providing space to naturally feel so we can embody it. We're providing space to trial and error so that we can experiment with it. We're providing space to find our fractal so we can share what we've learned. We're providing space so you can practice with your heresy and leadership and make it practical. And then we're providing you space so that you could be the role model of what you know and live your own authenticity. In all of these dimensions, the individual, relationship, family, community, collective, and spirit. And we're going to do that through lectures, embodiment space, field trips, panels, workshops, and interviews. Is the surprise that I wanted to offer. I was in the midst of building an app for myself called the Wisdom Keeper. I have decided to switch it and donate it or build it for High Desert Human Design and all of us facilitators for long-term continuous use. This spiral of everything is what I have been delivering my Wisdom Keeper program personally to people of the world. This is how I bring people through therapy. This is how I move through traumatic reparenting events. These are the steps that I take people through neural reprogramming, the ability to meditate, sitting with their children. These are the steps that everything in the universe moves through. So what I'm offering is an app for people, participants to use during the conference, before, during, and after the conference to find their place within the conference itself. So what you're seeing in front of you are like the opening slides of the app that I've created. So what you're going to be able to do as a participant is come into this app and choose what you'd like to do and see the facilitators and the opportunities that you have to go do that thing. You're going to be able to see that before the conference, during the conference, and after the conference. This is what you'd see on your phone. They would see that these are the available things, and then they would make choices. This is the next slide they would see. So we always ask to connect with your body before you make any choices. And then we move into choose the spiral you'd like to explore today, and they pick one. Learn, embody, experiment, network, express, allow. So I picked the individual. I want to pick individual and I want to learn about myself. So here will be all the facilitators that are teaching a first line thing. So Fred, pardon me if I'm saying it incorrectly. I see your handsome face, and so I'm using you as an example. But you held a play theater or an embodiment type space. So what would happen is we would create a part of that for you would be a 101 of that. What does that mean to be in my body and play theater? What does it mean to be next to myself in my senses? What do I do? Help me feel safe. So that would be one of the offerings here. Human Design 101 would be one of the offerings. Maybe Richard would like to do an Astrology 101. Maybe Genoa would like to come and do an LYD. brief something for those 5 days. Maybe there could be a million ideas. I have invited a BG5 person and a business person who's not BG5 to do some business stuff. So it doesn't matter what your genre is. I want to provide a space for you using the language in this ecosystem to provide individual space to feel safe, individual space to experiment. So here's that field trip, right? We'd go to the grocery store for 2 hours and we'd stand next to somebody at the cantaloupe and we'd make field notes about what it felt like. We'd be in the third line experimentation and play of it all. If I was a participant and I wanted to work on myself, but I really wanted to embody it, maybe I'd go to Brandy's shamanic journey of the centers and I'd get into my centers in the body with music and sound. I'm going to create this app so that people can navigate it during the conference and choose what they'd like. Not only are they going to be able to choose what they'd like, but they're going to have maps to get there. They're going to have little communities to be able to talk to. The facilitator of that event will be able to communicate with anyone who's registered or even in the field itself and have a private community in a private app to have all of your discussions. Facilitators will then also continuously after the conference, we will then house your offerings here. You get to choose what we do with them. I know in the past, facilitators have had to give up their offerings to the conference or whatever that is. And I understand the reason for that. And what I want to do here is a more egalitarian thing where you get to choose what happens with your offerings. You can keep them here in the spiral. There will be shares of the expenses here, but it'll be very low. And you'll see that soon so that we can all manage this. But your offerings can stay here year round. Your courses, your embodiment exercises, your videos, your everything can stay here and can live here and can be a sense of a community generator. And you could have your own private community here. Again, you can go over this later. This is just all stuff because I'm looking for, I created this imagining I'm going to go out there and ask for donors. I'm going to ask for someone to seed some money so that we could provide the space to do exactly this. Because what I'm running up against is I want all of these wonderful spaces. And the conference center is the place that has all of these wonderful spaces. I can make 6 yang centers. I can make 6 yin centers, and there could be things going on in all of them at one time. But we need to pay them now for this. So this PowerPoint was made for that reason. So please bear with some of the details that you're seeing here. You'll get a copy of this as well. So for participants, this is preliminary pricing. Of course, we've done some market research. Here is what we've done to make it sustainable financially for everyone, is that the highest ticket price will cover transformational workshops. This year, some of our facilitators facilitated 5-hour, 6-hour workshops. This is something that I believe deserves an energy exchange. I'm a fully motored ego being. My only motor requires an energy exchange to show up and impact for 5 hours at a time. So the full spiral ticket will be something that will resource these facilitators for that deep transformational work that they've provided you. So someone who buys a $500 full spiral ticket will have access to all of the deep transformational workshops, all of the panels, all the field trips, all the lectures, all the social events, and they'll have the spiral app for free, all of these things. The community ticket will be for the people, because there was a lot of people that said that they didn't really care about the workshops, but they wanted to be with all the people. And so there's a community spiral ticket that gives you everything except for the deep transformational workshops. And then a streaming option, because there was a lot of people that wanted to be streaming. And so in order to stream, we need this venue that has the streaming stuff all put up, because all these other venues don't have streaming ability. So we'd like to be able to offer streaming, and we're going to try that no matter what venue we get and that'll be a $200 cost. And then the spiral app again, so that you can continue to be in community before, during, and after the conference for as long as you'd like. And then $15 a month to be part of that community with all those spirals and the access to that year's courses and panels and all of that. Okay. For facilitators, I want them to have 70% of the ticket price that is sold, no matter if I sell it or you sell it. 30% will go to HDHD. Of that, 15% will go for the venue and support, and another 15% will go back into the community pool for accessibility. There is, if you want to continue to host all of your offerings on the Spiral app, there'll be a monthly charge. And then you charge what you want for your courses to your people. You know, there's no policing. It's just a structure for you to individuate within. Again, revenue share, 15% of Spiral in earnings towards the community pool. And then I want to give you access to this Wisdom Keeper program that I've developed and worked with other people to structure your own offerings at a discount. We're about done, guys. I want everyone to understand that I really would love for this to be council-based structure, no single director. I don't have the energy for this. You know, we are not only that, but that's not the nine-centered, that's not the forward-moving way. The forward-moving way is that we all come together to create something beautiful. And if there's not enough of us that want to come to create something beautiful, then it's not to be created. And I really trust that. And so facilitators, you choose your line and spiral. You're not assigned. You hold your own thread. You move it as you want. And we will, over time, fill in all of those little places, all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in all 6 spirals. It won't happen overnight, but people will come and develop. And so it'll promote depth and coherence and co-creation. And this ecosystem that we're creating together is seeding this container for the next wave of awakening that is upon us, that we are pushing the edges of. So I'm going to send this out in an email again afterwards, but we're gathering the councils. This QR code right here is to join one of the community councils. We are going to need help with a lot of things, programs, community care, media, accessibility, facilitation groups. There's a whole bunch listed in this QR code here. There are the things that the communities, I'm calling them councils. And I would love to have a co-leader of the council. Jess has already agreed to come in and be the co-leader of the volunteer council. So thank you, Jess. I would love to create some of these councils and to help nurture us into the creation of what's to come. What that would entail is monthly open calls. We're going to publish notes. We're going to rotate roles so that nobody gets burnt out. That's real important to me. There's some questions there in this QR code that will help us be able to rotate the roles accordingly so that nobody gets burnt out, especially now that we do not have resources yet. But please keep in mind that I do imagine that this ecosystem, I have reached out to someone who I know understands kind of the egalitarian, more Burning Man way of resourcing an ecosystem. Please know that that is what I'm researching and I'm devoted to learning about, so that we all can be resourced, whether it be macro right now because we're in it, or micro when we're not always touching it. I want us to be perpetually resourced like good energy in the universe does for itself. So know that I'm working on that. But right now, this is not a paid gig, guys, unless you're a transformational workshop facilitator. But I hope to be soon. So fuel the build, donate to the Equity and Accessibility Fund. What you can expect is the structure that honors consistent pacing and real human capacity, transparent decisions that you could be a part of, a transformational adventure that we call a conference. And something that I've felt is important is this private community on a private app that allows you to offer your services to a community of people who want them without this 7-centered marketing pressure that exists. A living curriculum that we build together, one turn of the spiral at a time, not a long-term vision that benefits anybody, but just a presence in the moment to what is asking to be created. And what we're calling in right now is a circle of maybe 20 voices for this season's council. I want to do it seasonally as well. Again, moving with the cycles of the universe. No burnout, only energy. And we'd like seed support of the reason 15,000 is there is because that's what it'll cost to get us the space that we really want. So if this moved something in you, I hope you follow whatever it's moved. Thanks. And I just wanted to show you that one more time because I think it's a really cool image. All right. Thank you guys. I'm going to take a.
Wow. So much, Brandy. I hope everybody was able to feel the structure there in terms of helping us as facilitators find our spot in that spiral and our offerings, as well as the participants. That was absolutely one of the most reoccurring feedback comments, is this incredible schedule with all of these different talks and no idea which one to go to, right? And so hopefully you guys were hearing how someone brand new or someone that's been in human design 20 years can come into this offering and meet it where they are right now.
I feel pretty complete. How about you, Richard?
Yeah. Thank you again, everybody, for your time today, all of your contributions, suggestions. Can't wait to be on this journey with you guys the rest of this year. Thank you.
Again, I'm going to put my feet down and breathe into my body before we go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Richard.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Great day, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.